Aww. It's a young'un. Cones in the middle of the road. Even out here where it's so beautiful, there's got to be something. Okay. Boy, it'd be so easy to come along here and not see one of those sweet things, and oh boy. Anyway, guys, stay tuned. I'm going to tell you some very interesting things today while we're taking a little walk here out of my home. My beautiful pond. Well, guys, breaking news. I guess Pennsylvania's not going to certify their election results. They're going to have a hearing. Oh, there were some ducks. About 4, 5, 6 ducks or something in there. I guess they ran. Oh, Miss Boots. Well, I take you guys for a little walk here. We'll talk about a few things. I want to talk about just how we got into this situation and whether or not this is, what's going to happen. Be here. We're here just a little minute ago. My pond has gotten too low because my dam is leaking a little bit over there. I got to go over and fix it. That was a beautiful deer we saw just a minute ago down the road about 5 miles as that was coming in. Oh, jeepers, leapers, creepers. And so, we have to ask, has our Father in heaven got it all under control, or is the devil going to just take us all out here? I don't think so. We're going to show that we're going to be all right, guys. Robots. I wonder if I can go back here. I had a trail through here, but it's probably not much of a trail now. It's grown over. Yeah. What a system that we live in. Being subverted by our own government. And everybody's just walking around trying to act like nothing's so wrong. Nothing to see here. We're starting to get more and more panicked. I can see it in people's eyes. I did my video yesterday and I think somebody noticed that I was a little bit sad, a little discombobulated by all of the bad things going on. And, I didn't say, I don't know, I don't think a lot of these people that come on and make negative comments really actually watch the video or anything. They probably looked at the general tone and thought, oh, this guy's given up. And he's admitting he's defeated. And I told you, David, I told you Trump was bad. The majority of the Americans voted for Biden. And see, all of that's not true. But I don't think the majority of Americans voted for Biden at all. I don't even think he got a majority. I think he got, boy, look at all these berries. These kind of berries are, I don't know if they're edible at all. They kind of taste bitter. There's a lot of those right now at this time. You probably could do something with them. I think everything in nature is for a reason. Well, I gotta come in here with a hatchet or something, or a sigh, a weed eater. Look at that trail. Somebody, the Beavers, have a trail through here going down to the pond that wasn't there before. See where the Beavers have cut the... Huh. Are they making another dam down here or what? Well, I think we're going to find out that the devil has a plan for us for sure, but so does our Father in heaven. That's what we want to determine here today. This is what I'm talking about, what I did. I made this dam here, and it doesn't look like it's still there. It's still doing good, I guess. But something was leaking because it... Look at that. They've made another dam over there. I didn't do that. The Beavers are making... They're doing something. This whole thing that I put here with a shovel, and now they've come in and made a smaller dam behind it. I don't know what that's for, but that's interesting. It doesn't look like it's leaking, so I don't know. I looked over here and I saw it about a foot down, and I thought, well, maybe it's leaking, but no, it doesn't look. It's just real weird. There's one of the beaver sticks. Huh. Yeah, those beavers are doing something. Maybe they're reinforcing the dam. They've got a little trail right there. I know that's a beaver trail. Well, there's another trail going through there. Somebody said last summer that beavers were building another pond down there, and I haven't seen it, but I don't know. I guess that's the way things go. We make a dam, and it's got a purpose that we have in mind, and then our little beavers go in there and start undermining what we're doing here. Let's see what they're doing down here. Much easier to get through here if you're a beaver. I'm not sure I want to go through here at all. These beavers are kind of like those crooks trying to undermine our Constitution. Hard to get through. All the lies and the subterfuge. Whew. Okay. How do you get through this? It's bramble. See, there's all kinds of bramble in the way here. Oh, the lies! They're surrounding us with deception and lies. It's a trap. Why I did that, I don't know. I hope I don't have to go back. Look at the way they're cutting all these. They must be building a heck of a dam down here. These demon rats, these beavers, Oh my goodness, what are they
Maybe
doing?
they're building a marsh. I don't know, do they build marshes?
It's the swamp!
The sewer. Go out this way. Here's another trail. It's like deer have made or something. Maybe a place where they bed down or something.
I think I found out where these socialists have been plotting our demise.
Something beds down here. Anyway, the people that are on my channel making negative comments, I think a lot of those are robots, guys. This is a total, I mean, they pulled out all the stops. You think they're not going to have robots and crazy people saying things that not real people wouldn't be saying? They're giving us the illusion all around us that the norm is that you're hated. That's the norm. Wow. Because you could make a bridge across here. Have a road going in here. I don't know where it would go to. Back side of my property. There's my fence. Anyway, it's just everything around us is fake, and they're undermining our values and our life, basically. Our family values, our beliefs, everything we are. And they've been doing it for a long time, guys, and we haven't been paying attention. Most of us didn't even know it was happening. The old frog in the water, you know, till it's boiled. You don't know what's happening until it's too late, guys, and I think it's upon us. This is where my property ends. The neighbor's a real nice guy. He and his wife have not met me. I met all the neighbors here. They're all good people. Good people that would come out and help you. Be a, you know, be like friends. They're like family out here. I mean, they don't come around much, but they're good people. I was just thinking, that let's say I have my property and it's all paid off or something, which is not. But even if we had our property was paid off, and then they decide to do a reset and say that nobody owns land after all you did to pay for that land, and now you don't own it. Or let's say that the government decides that that would be wrong, you know, illegal to just, after you paid for your land, to take it away. So then they decide, well, okay, we're not going to take it away from you, just pay your taxes. Oh, but darn, look how high the taxes are now. $1,000 a month, you know. Oh, you can't pay the government to live on your own property? You don't have the money? Huh, well, I guess we confiscate it. And then I realized, well, they've been doing that for a long time. A lot of times, people have to pay their taxes yearly or something, and they get a big bill at the end of the year for pay their taxes, and they can't do it. They lose their property. See where they're bedding down right there? Something is. I don't think it's beavers. Although it is a beaver that's been cutting on that. Chewing it. I didn't know beavers had grass parties. This proves it. It's got to be
Well, they
socialist.
chewed the heck out of that, didn't they? They're going to chew that whole tree down. I guess they eat the bark. I don't know. You know what I think? I think this little hole here, there's probably a hole under the water. They can go under the dam and get into the big area and swim. This is where they come out and sunbathe, I guess. I've seen a couple beavers out here before, but you don't usually see them. I thought it was a huge turtle up on the dam the other day, but now I'm thinking it might have been a beaver.
But I do think we're going to have to start paying attention and taking better care of our Constitution, our country.
So, I don't know.
Can't let them take it all.
Some of you guys, you don't own property, and you're thinking, well, how am I going to do this if I don't own any property? Don't worry. We'll figure it out. We'll either have some property or we'll squat somewhere, but we'll make it. The Lord will provide a way to get through this. For those of you who know, you can't stay in the cities. The cities are going to be completely taken over, run over with the Gestapo. We won't have any freedom or anything to do, any way to live free there at all. But the point of my video yesterday wasn't to sound defeated or negative. I was just kind of mentioning the fact that it's a little disheartening and sad to see so many people buckling, to watch people lying for the state, wondering what they're getting out of it. You know, what are they getting out of it? Financial reward, that would be enough for somebody to hand over the world to oblivion. You know, I mean, it seems like, how would you live with yourself? Mass depopulation. All you got to do is turn your neighbors in and we'll let you live in this world and give you luxuries and you'll be great. How would you live with yourself? Members of your own family you're going to seclude, because there's going to be people in your own family that won't agree with you and they'll get left behind. Your little new world order, you'll be sitting there drinking your tea and biscuits. Your friends, family, everything gone. I like this tree.
There's a lot of wisdom in those branches.
I don't know, it's hard to understand how there could be so many people willing to lie and pressure and coerce, intimidate, be cruel, pillage, you know?
The twisted tree is like the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
Just kind of weird.
You know, if you don't clear the brush and trim the trees, and your garden will turn into wild force.
But there seems to be so many people. Maybe it's just, the crew at CNN, MSNBC, the crew at ABC. And they're, let's face it, they're just kind of a bunch of, they don't watch the news. They probably don't know what's going on. They're just told to read from a script. And like I say, we've got all these bots on Facebook. People, they're putting, I don't know if you guys noticed, but every time I put a video up, somebody comes on and puts up 2, 3, 4 links to some website, if you know what I mean. And I got to go in and delete them and try to block them and stuff. And of course, you know that it's going to get worse. It's been steadily getting worse for a long time, and I don't think most people knew that it was happening. It happened with the pharmaceutical drugs. That was a scam, and I don't think, some of you probably still don't know that that's a scam. Some of you still believe that the doctors, the actual run-of-the-mill doctors and the hospitals and all that, they're there to help you, to give you better health. I think, I'll bet you most of you think I'm a nut, even to this day, when I say that doctors are there not to help you at all, that none of the pharmaceutical drugs are there to cure you, heal you. There are some that take away pain, but you can do that by taking natural herbs. They took that away from us. Now it's illegal to do that. But, I mean, this, with the doctors all coming out in lockstep saying, oh, we've all got to go down in our houses and wear masks, and my dog's up on the hill. Come on! Come on, buddies! Ha ha ha! Come on! Ha ha! Come on! Come on, baby! Little bear, come on! Little blue! There's Bonnie! Yeah! Here comes the crew. Let's go take a walk. Yee! Okay, I don't know if we can get a word in edgewise. These dogs are barking. Okay, guys. We're just taking a little nice walk here. But, so they're all saying, okay. So doctors are telling us to do something that now some of us are beginning to realize is against our well-being. Will be harmful to us. And they're all saying, well, no. Think about how many thousands of doctors are just standing there and not saying anything because they don't want to get fired. And even for them, this is a little bit like, now wait a minute. I don't mind cutting somebody's heart right out of their chest because they had a heart attack, but but this idea of forcing people down to wear masks, look at all these. Oh, I thought I saw some nuts on the ground. I don't know. It's too unbelievable the way people just do what they're told. Well, today I was in doctor school and I learned how when people are sick, we're supposed to just cut it off, and seemed normal, seemed right to me. I better do what I'm told. Use a radiation treatment to cure it. We radiated their lung out, now they can't breathe, but boy, we sure got that lung out of there. So they've been doing all this for a long time, telling people they were mentally ill,
getting them addicted to some sort of medication that made them schizophrenic and dependent upon the government. And I knew that this was a scam. And we're not just talking, well, they were sincere, but they're just a little wrong, and I just don't agree with some of the things the doctors do. No, the whole institution came from the Wilhelm Institute in Germany, and then brought over here in the Project Paperclip. And these same individuals are now setting up universities and teaching people this sorcery. That's what it's actually called. They translate it sorcery in the New Testament, but the Greek word is pharmaceutical drugs. We've done a lot of videos on this, but so I knew that this was happening, and of course politicians were getting more corrupt, and we're like, well, that's just the way it is, Dave. Politicians are corrupt. Well, live with it. Yes, every day they make more laws to restrict our freedoms, but just bear it and smile. No big deal, Dave. Nothing to see here. But for years, it's been getting worse and worse, and worse and worse and worse. All the while, the frogs sitting there in the little warm water, and we're sitting on the stove, and water's getting warmer and warmer, and we don't realize it. I think I had a good nose geiger way back when I was a kid. I was looking around, and I noticed everybody was lying. The emperor had no clothes at all, and everybody was like, oh, the clothes on that emperor are so beautiful. Look at that beautiful red scarf and that wonderful hat. Mommy, he doesn't have a hat, and nobody's seen it. Well, Dave, I just got to go to the doctor. Well, I've got a sniffle, and I'm going to see if I can get me some medications. It just never dawned on me that maybe I shouldn't go to the doctor, that sniffles are normal. So this has been going on, and it's not just something of no consequence. It's a prison house that they're building around us, and now some of us are beginning to really wake up. I don't know why people think that they went in the Bolshevik Revolution and murdered millions of people and took over everything, so that even though this family only consisted of 1% of the population of the former Soviet Union, they ended up with 90 plus percentage points of the positions of authority and power. They always bring in their patron minority or whatever, but for the most part, all the positions of authority and power are filled by this family. And then they were in Europe now, they were in Russia, and they went to America. For a while, Americans were like, hey, we ain't gonna do this. Trying to get the communists out of Hollywood, remember that? And then they just gave up, and the communists took over Hollywood. Now, you don't know that, Dave. Yes, I do. Remember how we're always talking about the Weinsteins, the Einsteins, and the Websteins, and the Epsteins? You know, this guy named Epstein? Well, remember when Bill O'Reilly used to be on, and the guy that was the producer of the show was a Stein? Remember that? You know how the Five has got Greg Gutfeld as an up-and-coming rising star who's just fine with letting Biden win the election, even though he was supposedly conservative or whatever. And what is it? The guy that did the Star Wars series. I'm not thinking of Harvey Weinstein, but he was in, they were, Spielberg. Yeah, all these guys are, And, but we used to say, well, and now, so now they, it used to be a bad thing. Oh, they're communists. But, now they just call themselves socialists, and it's everything's fine. Nothing to see here. And so the Zuckerberger owns the Facebook and the Goggle brothers, and they seem to be young little chaps that they put into these roles, and then they made some story up about how, oh, this young man is only 15 down in his basement created Facebook. It's not true. Oh, Captain Kirk, he just came out of nowhere. You know how he did it, but he just came in and interviewed for the part on the Star Trek series, and he just got it. And he just did great. He was a great. We're just so glad that they chose him, and we don't know where he came from. It's just so crazy. Michael Landon. These guys are all, there's a relationship between all these people and I'm mentioning. So all the way down the line. I mean, I can't believe that people aren't aware of it. They just close their eyes and don't do anything or say anything about it. So my point is that this has been going on. I mean, one could imagine that when they made the wheel, they had a plan to invent the car, and then pollution, and then global warming, and then, guillotines, if you want to picture it that way. That they had this plan. It took them thousands of years. So, well, that's ridiculous, David. The people who invented the wheel, they're not in some conspiracy with Spielberg to destroy our soul. That was thousands of years ago. There's some Greek guy or something. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's why I believe in the Bible. I think there's a conspiracy that's gone on in this planet. I think I don't think this is just accidental. I think there's a plan by somebody. I call him the devil. And he's outlived all these humans, and they're just his puppets. Nebuchadnezzar thought he was the king, and then he got thrown out into a field, and his hair grew, and his fingernails grew like talons, and started acting like an animal. And God said, "It's I who raise up kings, and that's I who take them out. 7 times shall pass over thee, till you know that it is I." Okay. So a lot of you don't believe in that. You think it's just all, there's no God, there's no devil. There's no plan. This is just greed that's caused all of this. We were talking about this the other day. Are these people that are doing these bad things, are they just greedy? I don't think so. I think they're completely deceived. The Bible says the devil's come down to you to deceive every man, woman, and child. He's the deceiver. And how does he deceive? Well, two ways. With the flesh, and the lust of the flesh. Greed. Okay, so he can deceive you with greed and hate. But then it's his religion that tells you to be hateful and judge one another. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And, you know, to murder and genocide and all of this. Jealousy. I am God and I am jealous and that is my name. You will bow down and worship me. So we're being taught to do this. Friends, I'm telling you something that if you don't learn this, if you don't believe this is true, you won't be able to see correctly as to what's going on in the world. The Old Testament is bad. The New Testament is good. The Old Testament's the flesh. The New Testament's the spirit. The Old Testament's temporary. The New Testament is eternal. I give you not a new commandment, but an old one that you had from the beginning, to love one another. We had from the beginning when we were with Christ from the founding of the world. This is the eternal covenant, not just a new one. And it's the difference between love and hate, truth and falsehood. Moses brought the law, but I bring the truth. So this is this whole thousands of years. I mean, it seems like everything, you know how the Bible says that he makes all things work for good for those who love the divine. So the devil comes along and says, I'm going to make a wheel. Nothing wrong with a wheel. Right? Now we've got chariots and it makes things more convenient. And this is wonderful. Right? Well, it also meant that the children move 100 miles down the road because they've got a chariot and they can move all their stuff and they want to explore the world and buy mom and dad, and now the family's broken up. Okay, this gets worse. The story with the Second World War, and we had to send all of our men to war, and the women took over the factories, and then women became permanently employed. And of course, children were sent to kindergarten and daycare. But the breakup of the family was a plot by the devil. Well, what's wrong with the wheel, Dave? There's nothing wrong with the wheel. Nothing wrong with the wheel. But the devil uses everything for his purposes, for bad. And he tries to deceive everybody to use that wheel for bad purposes. And the Lord says, no, you've got to grow up. It has nothing to do with the law. It has to do with your heart. Experience. You're my children. You guys will overcome this. Okay? At first, you're going to think this wheel's great, but you got to use wisdom, guys. And of course, eventually they imprisoned us with the wheel by using the wheel to build tractors and build skyscrapers and banks and tanks. And then they invented the typewriter. And the Christians said, well, this will be good. We'll translate the Bible. And we'll publish the Bible in every language on earth and spread the gospel. And the devil said, ha ha ha. I'm going to take that typewriter and I'm going to use it for violence, propaganda, lies. Well, what do we do? Let's stop inventions. Let's stop progress. Because somebody's going to use it for bad. Let's keep the violence down to a minimum. If we don't have guns and things, and people can't kill everybody, we'll just let them use sticks and clubs, and that way we won't all die. Yeah, but the violent came from the heart, and it's still there. So it had to be accentuated. It had to be proven. It had to be taken to world stage. Now we've got wheels and typewriters, and now it's gone to the computer age. And again, the devil is using it to completely enslave us. And again, we're not wise enough to realize our part in this. We're led along by the nose, and we let the devil tell us what to do with our inventions. And he corrupts us. There's nothing wrong with the wheel or the typewriter. Or the internet, for that matter, probably. But we humans, we just think it's a minor thing. You know, like, well, I'm not a bad person, Dave, but I do like my violent, you know, XX-rated, wicked, evil movies that show blood and murder, and I let my children watch it. But I'm not so, that's a small thing, Dave. Yes, but we tolerated that, and it went into every part of our society. I mean, we're teaching it in school and making everything that's vile seem normal, and oh, I don't know. I don't know if I have to explain in a very detailed manner how that has crept into every aspect of our lives. And now here we are. They said, well, we need more of your taxes. Well, I don't understand why you need more taxes. Because we got to build roads, Dave. The schools and, yeah, prisons. You don't want these criminals running around, do you? Well, I don't understand. How could my brothers and sisters be such bad, terrible, worse than animals that you got to lock them in a cage the rest of their life? Well, Dave, I don't know, but look at them. They're down there selling drugs on the corner to your children. Well, wait a minute now. That's what you're saying. But those guys, you know, who's behind them? Who's the kingpin? Oh, well, that's us. But you see, you can't blame us for trying to make $1. Okay. Yeah. That's why we took your children, put them in a daycare. We start teaching them to hate you from the time they were born. Teaching them a new morality, new values. Values that will get them started for the 21st century, Dave. We've got to have a change of values. Well, I don't agree with that, but that's all right. I'll just send my kids to school and let them learn things that I don't actually agree with. And that's what the whole problem is, guys. It's not the internet, it's not the wheel, it's not the typewriter. It's not schools, it's not libraries. There's nothing wrong with anything. Really. Except for what we humans decide we're going to do with it. And whether or not we're going to have courage and integrity. And we just don't. So it comes down to us. We don't have the courage and we don't have the integrity. But I do believe that there are lots of courageous individuals in the world. And up to now, we've been so deceived. But I think it's all coming down to this final test. How many of us will there be enough? I think you probably only need 144,000 true, valiant individuals with integrity. Just like I said, I think it was just a few people that got us into this mess. Aleister Crowley went out and prayed and cut himself and sacrificed babies to the devil and dedicated and consecrated his life to this evil. And they accomplished a lot with a few people in their little secret society or whatever, with a couple of handshakes. And we let them do it. Now, the only way to... A lot of you just want to, let's leave it in God's hands, and, you know, I'm going to take my talent and bury it in the ground. You know, I know that he's a harsh master. When he returns, I'm going to make sure I've got my one talent that he gave me, that he entrusted me. Well, I'm not going to go out there and help anyone, because then I'll lose my talent. No, the talent is to be made. That's what you do with your
the stuff that he gave you, you go out and you make. He gave that one man 10 talents. That means a coin, 10 coins. And he came back and he had made 10 more. And he actually said, the guy who took the 1 talent or coin and buried it in the ground, he says, you should have put it in a bank. It would have made interest. Hey, is that a scriptural recommendation that, you know, one thing you can do is put money in a bank and get interest? It's in the Bible. You know, Jesus said, pay Caesar's things to Caesar. He wasn't opposed to living in the world and using the coins. But he said, you got to find the difference and understand the difference between things that belong to spirit and things that are worldly, that are temporary, that are just there as a tool to be used. But sometimes you need money to help people, to help the poor. And provide them with food and clothing. So we've got to, I think, take back our way of life, get the reins of our government back, and get back to the Constitution, guys. I'm going to go ahead and go. Hi, Bear. Hope you guys have a great day.